Hello, Joanne Ciconte. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
It was great to meet you and to chat with you in Singapore, and I'm pleased that we've been able to put this together. Where did the love of motor racing all come from for you?
It's funny you say that. It came from, I think, inherited by my dad.
Uh-huh.
He was a motorsport enthusiast like my family, but he did a little bit of go-karting himself. Nothing more than a passion. And
Uh-huh.
then he had a family, and I have a younger brother, 2 years younger, and he got my brother into go-karting. And I was always a sporty person when I was younger.
Like what? Like what are we talking? Sort
Like
of.
swimming, basketball, tennis,
So competitive. You're a
yeah.
competitive. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I just like to keep active, you know?
Yeah.
And then seeing my brother do like go-karting was something new, and it was so exciting in the family. And
Yeah.
it's not like a everyday sport you can do in your backyard.
Yeah.
So it was really intriguing, and it was fun for me to watch, and seeing him enjoy it so much was
So does Dad go? Would you like to have a drive at Oakley or Todd Road or something? Or where did you get your first taste of it?
it was at Oakley, so
Yeah.
it was a bit interesting because I had to convince my way there because he wouldn't really, let me have a drive. I feel like he didn't have any females to kind of reference from.
Yep.
There was no girls mechanicking or anything, so for him, he thought I just naturally wouldn't enjoy it.
And that's not a because I mean our world has changed so much
Yeah.
the way we embrace that, which is great. And that's not a criticism of Dad. It's probably just how things
No,
were then.
100%.
And I would imagine there was probably quite great pride for him too when you
Yeah.
was it? Yeah.
100%, because I fell in love with it completely, and I wanted to pursue it, continue it. And my brother lost interest, and he kind of came to me saying, "Would you like to continue racing?"
Wow.
And I said, "Yeah, of course." And I kept racing, and I think for him it was more like a power move to have this one girl like in a field of 50 boys and kicking it out there. I think for him it was like really good.
The CV shows, success at state championship level and more, right? But from sort of age, are we talking age 9 to onwards? When did it first really sort of launch
Yeah.
for you? Yeah.
Oh, my brother was 7.
Yeah.
I was about 9 years old at the time.
Okay. Yeah. And did you feel like it was a duck to water? Did it come easily? What reaction did you have?
It's hard to kind of sit here and remember, but I just remember just falling in love with it completely, like experiencing speeds like that at 9 years old, and the vibration of the cart going through your body is just like a new level of adrenaline, and I completely loved it. It was so like I wanted more.
Excellent.
But it was a phenomenal feeling back then.
The path to where you are now, I mean, you're still only in your mid-teens, which is crazy for me. I love the fact that you're on the world stage now. There is a whole heap of learnings in that, which we'll come to. How did the notion of going from karting to F1 Academy come about? And you are, I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, you are the youngest in 2025 in the lineup, aren't you?
Yeah. It came up like quite conveniently because I participated in the 2023 Girls on Track Ferrari Driver Academy thing, and
Giancarlo Fisichella was
Yeah,
there. And where were
exactly.
you? Were in Italy for this, weren't
yeah,
you?
but it's funny how it came about because I participated for the Ferrari thing,
Mhm.
and I like had to do my own preparation, so I did like some sim work
Mhm.
over in Italy, and the trainer at the sim, he sort of said like, because he knew I have no experience at all, he said, if this doesn't work out for you, I have a management team, Giancarlo Fisichella and Marco Ciocci,
Oh, fantastic.
that run it. He said, check out these guys. I'm sure they would like to support your journey.
Yep.
If things don't work out, and unfortunately it didn't work out, but I feel like Plan B was almost better than Plan A.
Wow. So how did they help?
We kind of discussed with them about management.
Mhm.
And they gave me opportunities like participating in the Czech Championship,
Awesome.
the Spanish, and
Yeah.
that was a huge milestone in my development as a driver.
Okay. So Formula 4 is the first proper single-seater out of karts and stuff. And how eye-opening was that? How exciting was that? Where were you? And so on.
Yeah, I was in Italy when I first drove a Formula 4 car, and I just came out of karts, and I thought I was driving a go-kart for the challenge, for the Girls
Cool.
on Track challenge, and I didn't have any idea it was going to be in Formula 4, and it was so, like, a little bit scary to see this huge machinery and knowing that I was going to drive it, and it was with Prema.
But mega at the same time. Mega team,
100%. I was so excited to get on track and drive. And
Fantastic.
when I drove it, it was the suspension, the steering, just everything was so completely different. But it was like, oh my gosh, I need to do this more. That's all I could ask for.
I was talking to a colleague who has worked with me here at the podcast studios from time to time on some automotive stuff, Nadine Armstrong, who is at Motorsport Australia now. She's a great operator. And she said to me, did you ever contemplate a plan B, or have you only ever been all in for motor racing? Did you think, maybe I'll go and, pursue an IT career or something? Was there ever a plan B?
For me, no. I always just seen that motorsport is my passion, and it's almost become my whole life.
Yeah.
I've always had to miss out on weekends, birthdays. I don't see my family as much anymore because I've moved most of my life overseas.
Yeah.
So for me, it's what my life revolves around, and my goal is to be in Formula One one day.
Love it.
So I'm trying to give everything I can to achieve that goal.
Great stuff. So do you kind of you're here in Australia now, which is great. We can talk to each other face to face before you ultimately go to Las Vegas for the final round and so on. When you're in Europe, where are you basing yourself? Are you good with other languages? How are you going with all that stuff?
I'm mostly all around the world, to be honest. There was a period where I'm traveling every 4 days, which was absolutely crazy. And I think where I do most of my training, if I have that chance, is in Italy, ideally. But I do a lot of stuff with MP, which is in Netherlands.
Okay.
But I am half Italian, so I can understand Italian. But
Give me a little bit.
No,
You can't?
when I'm in pressure, I get scared. And I can't, if someone speaks really fast to me, as most Italians do, I kind of just sit there and I'm like, si. But, what's great is they use their hands, so then it helps me understand
Figure
it
it
more.
out.
They could be angry about something and they're very, open with their hands about it. So I'm like, okay, I can understand where he's coming from.
That's an asset. That's an asset. That's a huge thing in your back pocket. The difficulties in getting to this point, because now we're talking kind of serious money. Even in karting, it can be expensive at times. So your lovely folks who are here, no doubt there's been a lot of commitment from them behind the scenes. But now you're starting to play at a business, a motor racing business sense at a whole new level, aren't you? What's
100%.
that been like?
Yeah, as a 16-year-old, it's a bit
Crazy.
surreal to say that, at the same time I'm a driver and, almost a businesswoman, because motorsport's so political as well. It's important to build yourself a platform on as many areas as you can. Social media is very, very important to build yourself on.
Yep.
And sponsors, I wouldn't be where I am now without them. And I think they've just helped me grow as a driver, but come to F1 Academy as the driver I am today.
Tell me a little bit more about them, because you've got some good sponsors on board that are assisting you in this process, and some of them are not what we might consider to be like standard motor racing sponsorships either. There's some real kind of cutting edge stuff there, isn't there?
Yeah, for sure. I have Weller on board with me in the F1 Academy. They're my car sponsor.
Yep.
But alongside that, I have Coboodle Kitchen. They're a kitchen company, and they've actually been my day one sponsor.
Have they?
Yeah,
Loyalty. I love that.
It's crazy how I actually met them. It's a funny story, actually. I met them at a Grand Prix in this box on a
corporate box. Yeah.
But I got these tickets kind of by an accident, and I was there with my friend. It's more for business people, good clients. They seen 2 kids there, and they try to kick me out. And I'm like,
hang on a minute, I'm here on merit.
So I tried to, pull out a card and say, yeah, I'm actually a driver. I'm here in this box to watch the race. And the guy goes, let me sponsor you. And it was just unbelievable. I just came out of karting and I wanted to transition into cars. So that was unbelievable how that chance came to me.
Mega.
But it's a bit funny because he tried to kick me out. But I came, and said I'm a driver.
I'm a huge believer. Sometimes in this business there are little almost like sliding doors moments. You were clearly meant to be there, which is excellent. So F1 Academy has gone through this almost stratospheric growth. You are there at a really cool time of it. Susie Wolff is a driving force of this whole initiative. What has it been like being around her? Has she been great from a support and advice standpoint?
100%. Susie is the boss woman in the F1 Academy, and to see her supporting our races on the grid, always watching every move we do, in a way it's a little bit scary, but it's so amazing to see this role model like supporting us. When I was younger, I didn't really have anyone to aspire to. And now that she's just like always in front of our eyes, it's incredible to see that she's really, really like taking action to bring a female into Formula One. And having a few conversations with her here and there. I mean, she's always busy, but it's still surreal to have her.
That's great. That's I mean, given what she achieved in her own driving career and making it with Williams and so on, that's great. More than just a role model, I think, in some ways, because she's got such a grasp of the areas beyond the car and beyond the cockpit itself.
Yeah.
When you and I spoke in Singapore, you then went on to have a fantastic race, which I was so pleased for you. Is that kind of a season highlight? How did you feel about Singapore and so on?
Yeah, I think Singapore is definitely one of my favourites on the calendar this year. I just enjoyed the track crazy. Like it was the definition of a gamble in that last race.
Yeah.
With the rain with the rain on half of the track.
Yeah.
I think that was really hard to manage as a driver.
Did you enjoy the style of track? Because it's a brutally
100%.
unforgiving place, isn't it?
I think it's really a driver's track, and it's about adapting quickly because we had one practice, and for us rookies, we've never been to that track as well.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I really, really enjoyed that thrill of having to adapt quickly and to make moves in a race.
Have there been other mentors for you? We've just talked Susie, obviously, but have there been other people along the way? Maybe someone here from Australia that have given a bit of guidance as you go?
Yeah, 100%. I think my two managers, Giancarlo Fisichella and Marco Ciocci, they've guided me in the best ways possible that they can. But I've also have a driver coach over here, Tim Macro. I think
nice.
He's helped me along my way. Rowan Ambrose, I'm sure you know of. He's helped me in my karting career immensely, and I wouldn't be the driver that I am today without him.
You have some great people in your corner, which I'm so pleased about. What's the toughest thing you've had to deal with in this process? Because, all of these women are intensely competitive. They're all from different nations. We are very lucky we have two Australians in the field. As you climb, as you go here, what's been the kind of toughest thing you've had to adapt to? And maybe it's something as simple as living away from home, for example, at 16.
I think, definitely moving my life over to Europe, my sporting life over to Europe has been like one of the toughest things. I don't get to see my family that often, but I think knowing that motorsport can have more lows than ups is like definitely huge. It takes a lot of mental space. You can have high hopes for a race, and unfortunately that can all go crumbling down out of your control. I think like one of my toughest races was in Shanghai. I qualified 6th, starting 3rd on the grid, and unfortunately I got a few penalties out of my control. And then I tried to give it another shot in the second race, and I got taken out. So it's just really unfortunate how motorsport can always go wrong.
But what I like about that is it sounds as though you're good at framing it and parking it. Are you? Like, are you good at going, okay, that's happened, I have to move forward? Is that a learned thing because of where you are in F1 Academy?
100%. I mean, it's common sense. You get beaten down about one thing, but it's always important to look forward. It's such a long game. I'm only in Formula 4. I'm 16 years old. I'm trying to get into Formula 1. It's such a long road ahead of me.
Great job. I love that. I wish I had that. As I've said a couple of times lately to different people, I wish I had that outlook at your age. How do you go from conversations, because it is so important what F1 Academy is doing here, but what I've come to appreciate from a lot of women in all areas of motorsport is that the gender-based conversations, they are important, but you also want to move away from that to skills-based stuff and focus on your own ability irrespective of the fact that you're female. Is that right?
Yeah, 100%. I think for me, like, gender doesn't really play out in your performance. I like karting with men when boys my age. It's always been like whoever's older, or you get put into a category, and I think everyone has the same talent. It's just how much you can like put down that performance. So I think motorsport is one of the only sports that it doesn't really show. Men are more naturally stronger, which is probably one of our only disadvantages in motorsport. But I think that girls are capable of being as good as the men. Awesome.
The program is really good at fostering that, developing that, and so on. Where to next? Have you started to have conversations about 2026? How are you going with all of that with the partners and so on?
Yeah, I think there's definitely conversations for 2026. I think my sponsors are doing an amazing job. I have now Fleet Space, which is a space company.
Tell
They
us about that. I mean, that's
Yeah,
super cool.
of course. They provide technology and data from space, and that's incredible.
I
And
love how they've paired with you on this journey.
yeah,
They've obviously seen a nice synergy.
yeah,
Yeah.
and motorsport again, it's all about budget. It's
Hmm.
very very expensive sport. So not only I decided to pick a cool sport, but a very expensive one. So my parents are they're struggling with that one.
Hmm.
But Fleet Space, I have now Cotton On. I have Nike on
Oh,
board with
excellent.
me. Yeah,
Proper blue chip.
for
Yeah.
sure. I'm really, really, I can't be more grateful enough to have them on board with me in my 2026 season.
Plans.
Yeah, so nothing's really confirmed yet,
Uh-huh.
but I hope good news.
Okay, cool. Let's keep our fingers crossed for you on that. Let's talk about the team that you're with this season, maybe some of the people in the pit lane there that are a bit more experienced in F1 Academy that you might have been able to draw from and so on.
Yeah, my teammates, especially Maya,
Maya Ferg, yeah.
she's competing in the F1 Academy this season and almost trying to win the championship.
She did super well in Singapore.
She did.
Yeah.
She knows how to assert her dominance, and she's quite good. It's honestly so inspiring, and she's always been like an inspiration. But to be like teammates with her
Nice.
is incredible, and she's such a nice friend as well to have for both Alba and I. But to have her data and her experience is incredible. I couldn't ask for any more.
So are you learning twofold from her then? Maybe about I mean, it's she's been in it for a couple of years now. So are you learning about the car and what it can do and maybe Singapore-centric things? But on the flip side, she strikes me as an assertive person and the importance of that too.
Yeah, for sure. She's got so many years of experience underneath her belt. And I think even racing in Europe is another level of experience that you have to kind of
So
learn.
good for you, isn't it? Yeah.
We're from Australia and we're so far away, and the action in Europe is it's so different.
The intensity of it.
And the level of competition is so different. But yeah, I learned so much from Maya, and to have her as a teammate is incredible.
Vegas is next. It's a little way away as we record this. What are you doing from a preparation standpoint? How excited are you about that and so on?
I can't believe we're racing in Vegas. Vegas, baby.
Exactly.
Here we come. But it's incredible. So I'm going to try and do as much gym work as I usually do. We're going to fit in some sim with the team as well. But yeah, I can't wait to race in Vegas and prepare heaps for next year.
Good. Is the name Joanne Ciconte back home in Australia resonating a bit more? Do you feel like because of what you're doing that you can see a difference? I know it's not, F1 level or the craziness that perhaps Oscar Piastri might be experiencing at the moment, but have you seen the growth in that, not just in the partners, but even in a general sense?
Yeah, I mean, I like to try and keep my head high about it, but I like to focus on what I'm doing. Obviously, I am grateful. It's hard to acknowledge what I've achieved and sit back and be like, wow, I've actually done a lot. But it's good to see that I'm a role model in motorsport for girls or boys.
Yeah.
But I like to be like a role model, and I like to see my messages that I receive or fans that come up to me and say, oh, you've made me want to start in motorsport.
Fantastic.
For me, this is the best thing I could ever hear. It's honestly, it's amazing.
You are great in that regard. And the thing that I love about it collectively is it doesn't matter if someone isn't pursuing a driving career. They might be wanting to be an engineer or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it does showcase women in motorsport at all sorts of levels. Amazing to think at age 16, as we wrap this up, that you're already understanding the importance of role models, not just for you, but what you can perhaps do to the next 9-year-old that is coming through karting. What would be the advice to someone who might be aiming to get a pink plate or to perhaps one day get to F1 Academy? What would you say to them?
Just like I said to you before, for people who are wondering if they should start motorsport, I always say just do it. And I can relate to that in some sense because my dad, he only saw it as a passion and he regretted not keep going and seeing what it could turn out to. And that's why he gave that opportunity to us. And now it's the best decision he's ever made in his life, and he's giving us this chance. And I would always say, just do it. You'll never regret it. It's such an experience that you can never forget. And you have such a long way ahead of you if you are in motorsport. Don't worry about the mistakes. Just keep your eyes forward. And I'm sure the next opportunity you get will be even better than the last one that you had.
Great job, you. Well done. Your lovely mum and dad are outside, and congratulations to them for all the hard work they're putting in to help make this happen. But I love the fact that you have this internal drive at your age to pursue this. Keep boxing hard, and we hope the rest of the year in 2026 is good to you. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you, Rusty. Thanks for everything.